Justine Robbins from Evolution Leadership, continuing the theme on KPIs. Now, why am I focusing so heavily on metrics and KPIs? Because we tend to measure a lot in our businesses, but we don't know what to measure, or we don't understand that by what we measure, we drive focus for our teams. And that's what measurements are. They're about driving focus for our teams. So we want to be really clear on what we're focusing on and what activities and behavior we're driving. So what I want to talk to you about is counter KPIs. Now, I see this happen a lot, that people in businesses with all good faith have a KPI and they measure it and they hold people accountable, and it drives behavior and focus, which is awesome. However, what they haven't considered is if that behavior goes too far, what's the consequence? So I can give you an example. So one business I had, they measured how many lost time injuries they had in their business. And if you had a lost time injury, it was really serious. Like, people got hurt. From a care perspective, it was important and they focused on it. But in focusing so heavily on a lost time injury, they actually missed the caring for the individuals. So what happened was people were getting away or avoiding that conversation by making sure they didn't hit that KPI. So it didn't change the outcome because people were still getting hurt. They just weren't being reported the way they were. So what's really important is when you look at your KPIs that you think about holistically, what kind of behavior could this drive? And make sure it's aligned to your values so that people understand what is acceptable and what's not. And then continue to ask yourself as a leader, what behavior am I driving by what I'm focusing on? So if you focus on a result, your people will focus on that result. And what behavior does that drive? So counter KPIs are always helpful. So you can have a KPI around that safety, that one that I just described. But if you have a counter KPI which keeps it in balance so that people understand that they've got to balance both KPIs. So if I achieve this one, but to this detriment, that's not a good thing. So it's about how do you balance so you get the outcome that you need in your business and align them to your company values, how we do things. So counter KPIs, not often something that people think about, but consider what you focus on. They say what interests my boss fascinates me, and people absolutely do this. So be careful what interests you because it's driving behavior in your business. Justine Robbins from Evolution Leadership.